Disclosure. This educational content has been developed using artificial intelligence.
Have you ever wondered what would happen if robots and AI took over most of our jobs? I'm not talking about a sci-fi movie scenario, but a very real possibility that economists and technologists are debating right now. What if automation and AI replaced 80% of all human jobs? What would our world even look like? Let's dive into this fascinating and frankly, a little scary thought experiment. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. The initial transition would be chaotic. Imagine, within a decade or two, 8 out of every 10 jobs disappearing. We're talking truck drivers, accountants, customer service reps, radiologists, even some creative jobs like graphic design. The economic shock would be immense. Mass unemployment on a scale we've never seen before would lead to social unrest and a global crisis. Governments would be scrambling to figure out what to do. It's a bleak picture, but it's the necessary first step in this journey. However, humans are incredibly resilient and adaptable. After the initial panic, we'd be forced to fundamentally rethink the very concept of a job and its connection to survival. The most discussed solution is Universal Basic Income, or UBI. The idea is that the immense wealth and productivity generated by the AI and automation would be taxed, and that money would be distributed to every citizen, ensuring everyone's basic needs, food, housing, healthcare, are met regardless of whether they have a job. This isn't a handout, it's a dividend from our collective technological inheritance. With our survival no longer tied to a 9-to-5 grind, what would we do with all our time? This is where things get really interesting. For the first time in history, the majority of humanity would be free from the necessity of labor. Think about it. No more Monday morning dread. No more pointless meetings. No more trading your precious time for a paycheck just to get by. This newfound freedom would likely spark a renaissance of creativity, innovation, and personal development. People could finally pursue their true passions. We'd see an explosion in art, music, and literature. Imagine neighborhoods transformed into vibrant hubs of community projects, gardens, and local theater. People would have the time to learn new skills just for the joy of it, mastering a musical instrument, learning a new language, or finally getting that physics degree they always dreamed of. Education would shift from being a means to a job to a lifelong pursuit of knowledge and self-improvement. But what about our sense of purpose? Many people derive their self-worth from their careers. Would a world without jobs be a world without purpose? I don't think so. Instead, our definition of purpose would evolve. It would become more personal and intrinsic. Your purpose might be raising thoughtful, happy children. It might be volunteering to restore a local ecosystem. It might be creating beautiful sculptures, or organizing community sports leagues, or even exploring the mysteries of the universe through citizen science projects. Our focus would shift from production and consumption to connection and experience. The experience economy would boom. People would have the time and resources for travel, hobbies, and social events. The value of human connection would skyrocket. With AI handling the logistics of our world, we could focus on the things that truly make us human: empathy, creativity, and caring for one another. Think of the time we could dedicate to our elderly relatives, our children, and our friendships. The role of caregiver, in the broadest sense, would become one of the most valued contributions to society. Of course, this utopian vision isn't guaranteed. There are significant risks. What if the wealth generated by AI isn't distributed fairly? We could end up in a dystopia where a tiny, ultra-wealthy elite owns all the automated systems, while the rest of humanity lives in poverty, rendered obsolete. This is why the conversation about governance, ethics, and regulation of AI is so critical right now. We need to build a framework that ensures these technologies serve all of humanity, not just a select few. Another challenge would be motivation. Would people just sit around and do nothing all day? Some might, at first, but I believe that human beings have an innate desire to create, to contribute, and to be a part of something bigger than themselves. After the novelty of endless leisure wore off, we'd find new ways to be productive and engaged, driven by passion instead of necessity. The very meaning of work would be redefined as any activity that brings value to oneself or the community. Whether it's paid or not. So, a world with 80% automation isn't necessarily a world of unemployment. It's a world of post-labor freedom. It's a world where human potential is finally unleashed from the chains of economic survival. The path to get there will be rocky, filled with political and social challenges we can barely imagine. But it forces us to ask the big questions. What is the purpose of a society, and what do we truly value? The future isn't about humans versus machines. It's about how we use these incredible tools to build a better, more humane world for ourselves. It's a future where we are free to be more human than ever before. It's a daunting prospect, but also an incredibly hopeful one. What do you think? Would you thrive in a world without traditional jobs? Or do you think it would be a disaster? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. It's a conversation we all need to be having. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the future, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content that makes you think. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next one.